The government of China set up a donation system for the first time last year in March 2010 in 11 cities as a pilot project. And there was a report in Beijing today in March of this year telling us how that donation effort had worked. And what Beijing Today reported was in that year, in those 11 cities, in total there were 37 donations. In Nanjing, they had 12 people working full-time to encourage donations, and in that year, those 12 people got 3 donations. So the ratio between staff and donations is 4-to-1. So that highlights how much China is reliant on prisoners for organs for transplants. The drug companies have been involved in both sales and trials of immunosuppressive drugs in China. In terms of sales, Sandoz, which became Novartis, started selling cyclosporin in 1983. Roche opened up a factory for Celsep, an immunosuppressive drug, in 2006. And the head of Roche was asked by a newspaper why China, and the answer he gave, and I quote, is, "In China there were no ethical or cultural stoppages for transplant medicine." The Canadian company Isotechnica has developed a commercialization agreement for the drug voclosporin, and that was in 2010. And the sale of these drugs, of course, facilitated organ transplantation in China. For trials, Pfizer has been conducting trials. When it first started, it was called Wyeth, and it's now Pfizer. It started the trials in 2004, but it continued them into 2010. Novartis has had trials 2005, 2006. Roche has had trials in 2006, 2008 to the present. When Swiss-based researcher Arne Schwartz asked Roche in writing the source of the organs, they wrote back to him saying, and I quote, "Roche is not in charge of the supply of organs. Anonymity and privacy of donor data are protected by law. Roche is not entitled to know the source of transplanted organs." Astellas has been involved in transplant trials in China in 2008, 2009. Now, to come to the conclusion that David Kilburn and I did, that Falun Gong practitioners are being killed for their organs, we relied on a number of different sources of evidence, but one of the sources of evidence was investigators' calls into hospitals. Our investigators would call hospitals, pretending to be relatives of patients that needed transplants, and ask the hospitals if they had organs of Falun Gong practitioners for sale, on the basis that Falun Gong is a set of exercises, the practitioners would be healthy and their organs would be healthy. And the investigators got denials and rejections and hang-ups, but they also got admissions throughout China in about 15% of the calls. One of the calls that we had, and I should say that the tapes of these calls are on the internet. I mean, they're in Chinese, but if you want to hear them, you can. But anyhow, this was the Shanghai Jiaoting University Hospital Liver Transplant Center, and I'll just read you a bit from the transcript, the translation. The caller says, "I want to know how long the patients have to wait for a liver transplant." The doctor, Dr. Dai, says, "The supply of organs we have every day, we do them every day." Caller, "We want fresh, alive ones." Dr. Dai, "They are all alive, all alive." Caller, "How many live transplants have you done?" Dr. Dai, "We have done 400 to 500 cases. Your major job is to come, prepare the money, enough money, and come." Caller, "How much is it?" Dr. Dai, "If everything goes smoothly, it's about RMB 150,000 to 200,000. Caller, "How long do I have to wait?" Dr. Dai, "I need to check your blood type. If you come today, I may do it for you within 1 week. Caller, "I've heard some come from those who practice Falun Gong, those who are very healthy." Dr. Dai, "Yes, we have. I can't talk clearly to you over the phone." Caller, "If you can find me this type, I'm coming very soon." Dr. Dai, "It's okay, please come." Caller, "What's your last name?" He says, "Dr. Dai."